Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another part of my Why I Use Studio One series. In today's video, we're going to be talking about applying effects across multiple tracks. Now, in this series, I'm going to be comparing between Ableton and Studio One a lot. And in a lot of cases, I'm going to be showing where Ableton Live lacks and where Studio One is superior, because I spent 4 years in Ableton Live, and while I'm thankful that Ableton Live helped me get started in my music production career, I eventually moved on to Studio One because there were just a lot of areas that Ableton was unfortunately lacking. And so today's tutorial, we're going to be talking about applying effects across multiple tracks in a kind of batch style, which means that we only have to make one move. So one of the things I really like is, like, if I have a send on one track, say for example it's my kick, and I've got some snares that are layered together on different tracks, and I like this reverb that's on them, and I don't want to have to, in Ableton I'd have to drag it over, drag it over, drag it over, drag it over, and if you have like 10 tracks, that's just time consuming, and it really will kill, it has the potential to kill your flow. So what you can do in Studio One is you can select all these tracks and then just drag it over, and voila, you have just added it to all the other tracks. And it doesn't just end there, honestly. But wait, there's more. There is more. So what you can do then is you can just select all the tracks, and I can't remember if Ableton actually has this. If I go like that and then I select all these tracks, no, it doesn't. It doesn't allow you to batch select multiple tracks at the same time. So Ableton doesn't have it. What I can do is I can select all these tracks, hold shift, go down across, and then if I want to turn this reverb down on all those simultaneously, I can do that. That's huge. But wait, there's more. Does it do them all like the same amount? Like it just automatically puts them all at the same number? No, it doesn't. It adjusts them all relative to each other. So if I put this all the way up and then all the way down, they're all relative. You can see that the relative volumes of them have been maintained. And there you go. It's just complete game changer in its own right. It's just a very small feature. You can also do this with plugins. It's so cool. Like if I have like an EQ here, and for whatever reason, I don't know why you'd copy EQ across. Usually it doesn't happen. I just accidentally added them all to the same track. But if we add just an EQ here, and I do that, I can then duplicate it across the same way. And here's a really cool feature. I pressed that wrong, because you have the choice of whether you want to, when you copy a plugin, you can either move it or copy it. And the way that you do that is you hold Alt as your modifier. You have the plus as it copies it, and you hold Alt, and now you just move it, it moves over. Right? So a really cool thing that you can do is, so you can have all the same plugins on the tracks together. I keep pressing the wrong key. All right, so they all have the same effect on them. So say, for example, you had we'll just do this. So when I added the plugin and I had them all selected, it adds the plugin to all of them. It's like, that's so cool. I love that. So if you have all the tracks selected, and say, for example, you want to disable the reverb, disables the reverb or turns it off. If you want to disable these Anvil plugins, you just right click on the channel, click disable. It disables all of them. Really cool. If you bypass it, I wonder if it does the same thing. It does not. But if you turn the power off, or or turn it off, it turns it off. If I delete them, remove, which is delete, it removes all of them. So it's really cool, and the tracks don't have to be juxtaposed to each other. You can do this on pretty much any selected tracks. You would just select them holding Control. Then you could click across to your effects, and then if you wanted to turn off the first row, which is what it's going to do, it turns off the first row across all the selected tracks. So this is really helpful for just sound design, for just duplicating workflow. You won't know how effective this kind of batch style of working is until you find the moment where you need it. And if you never had access to it before, you won't know how much time it saves you. And so it's really about just experimenting, finding out what your workflow is, and then you really start to find something that's faster and more efficient. So this for me was a huge kind of change that they added in at one point. And it saves so much time. It's so helpful, and that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, you know where to leave them. If you like this video, please let me know what you think about it, and I'll see you guys around.